Okay, welcome. Today I'm going to record a few videos and I'm going to start with probably the best startup philosophy I have learned of so far. And this philosophy, which I will share here in the presentation, is effectuation. Effectuation entrepreneurship. We have here the presentation, and effectuation means basically that effectuation is an idea with a sense of purpose. So you want to do something and you act in a way that you want to have an effect. That's effectualism or effectuation. Okay, so much for this. So effectual reasoning is a type of human problem solving developed from cognitive science. So someone actually wrote a book about it called the person Saraswati from the Darden School, University of Virginia. And yeah, they had a research experiment, and they had like 27 expert entrepreneurs. So they started their business, and yeah, they have like companies from $200 million to $6.5 billion. It doesn't say if it's the value of a company or if it's a monthly revenue or profit. But I mean, if you go to these numbers, then at least it shows that you know a little bit what you do. So they look at those people. How did they get there? What did they do? And they recorded 80 hours of tape and 500 pages of data. And from this, they basically developed this effectuation theory. And she wrote the book about it, Effectuation, Elements of Entrepreneurial Expertise. That was 2005. So since then, people were supposed to be a lot more smarter starting their businesses because they were allowed to read the book. But they're still going on and have shiny object syndrome and come up with other interesting theories. So the science of entrepreneurship, basically like effectuation, is the logic of entrepreneurial expertise. The science, okay. And when we look at managerial thinking, they have like a causal thinking, and they look like, I want to reach a specific goal. I want to improve my production numbers. I want to have a big start for my new product, or I want to get more clients for this. They have this specific goal plus 20%, and then they look, okay, I have to do this and this and this and this, and they have their to-do list, and then they give those tasks to the people working, and hopefully they are successful. As an entrepreneur, it's not so easy. There's probably, if you start your business, there's so much that you can do, and there's also so many ends. So you end up like as a goal, oh, I want to have a successful business. Oh wow, such a good goal. Okay, you want to make 10K a month. Oh wow, yeah, okay, but how? And there are so many ways to do this and so many decisions on this way. So what they basically came back to is that you have your focus on a set of evolving means to achieve new and different goals. So this was very nice, but what does it actually mean? Entrepreneurial thinking. So you imagine a possible new end and you go to there with a given set of means. A given set of means. That means that you have to know what actually is possible for you to do. So in context, causation is basically I can predict the future. I know I will increase my clients by 20%. And effectuation is, if I can control the future, I do not need to predict it. So basically, yeah, if you create the future, you don't need to predict it. And you can already see there's a lot of fluidity between it, because you know, when you look on Twitter and on other people with businesses, then a lot of them, they actually can work like this. They look at the ads that they are doing, they look at their customers, or when they start new products, when they add features, very often they can already act as if they can predict the future, so to say, because from their experience and from the way their business grew, they can already make like good assumptions. But when you're an entrepreneur and you're just starting off, it's very, very uncertain what will actually happen. And in this case, you might want to look at effectuation as your thinking strategy. So, again, if I can't control the future, I do not need to predict it. Or, like, what also is good, which gives you power in the now, is that if you do the right thing now, you don't need to predict the future. If you build it now, you don't need to predict it. So trust in the process, trust in God, trust in the universe, in the rules that happen to turn out right if you do the right thing right now. So we have also the distinguishment between heuristic and algorithm. So a heuristic is a problem-solving technique that involves creating a speculative formulation and self-led investigation to reach some desired outcome. And most quintessential heuristic is a trial and error, whereas an algorithm is a step-by-step procedure with a finite number of steps that seeks a specific outcome, which is also recursive. So if you drive a car, you have an algorithm for steering. You basically, or like for navigating, you have a certain steps that you have to follow. Okay, you look at so many turns left and right that you need to do, and then you take one turn after another, and then after a finite amount of turns you will reach your destination. So then we come to classic causation model from test books and effectuation model from entrepreneurs, which is very, very nice, because for the entrepreneurs, the customer comes first, and for the marketer, like for the management, the market definition comes first. So causal is then you have the market definition, and the market you can put into segments. So you have your shoe market, and then you separate the shoe market into women and men's shoes. Super easy. And you can segment until you fall off your share. And then from the segment you then do the targeting. So you choose a segment, and based on evaluation criteria, so you choose a segment that is more fitting for you based on your experience and what other factors are involving it. And then from the targeting, you create your positioning. And there you look at your marketing strategies and what other means you have to reach this positioning, which allows you then to talk to your customer. For the effectuation strategy, at least according to this graphic, it starts with the customer, and from the customer, you don't really know what the customer is, who the customer is, so you go with a stakeholder identification. Who is actually the one person that you want to benefit? Or not even that. I see here stakeholder identification is yourself. So who am I? Who do I know? Whom do I know? So you look at who you are, what your situation is, what kind of job you are, what kind of experience that you are, and from that you go down and look, okay, what kind of people do I have contact to, what kind of people do I know, what kind of people do I have experience with. If you work in a zoo, for example, you have a lot of zoo customers, you have a lot of people that work with animals, and those are like the people that you already know, which you have experience with working with. So when you have this and like, okay, this is like a good target group because you already know them, and then you go to stakeholder definition, and that you do with strategic partnership and selling. So what does that mean? Then you go further into it, and yeah, you can already probably go into communication. Yeah, I don't know what they mean with this. But after this, after stakeholder definition, which probably means that you have to choose one of the groups that you know, you then add the segmentation, so, and the partners. So maybe this is like you, who has Noah Kagan, who wrote the book The Millionaire Weekend Model, or something like this. This was just published last week, and he has also stacking your cards for your win. So you look at everything that would benefit you, everything that would give you a strength, and you try to check all those boxes. So you fortify your position, and then with this you increase the chance that your business starts off right. So, and here, for example, you can look, okay, maybe I want to sell products to people that work in the zoo, and then you say, okay, I don't really have like supplements for people that work with monkeys, but then you look like, okay, I can look at a supplement company, and then you find out some kind of supplement that would somehow work with this case. So don't ask me how I come up with this example, but let's just go with it. So we have like a very, very defined niche, and since it's so special and you have no experience with supplements, or maybe with, they have like special gloves, special training gear or something that they use with monkeys, and since you don't want to craft your own gloves, you look around and you found like a good leather craftsman, and this person is like in the ability they can make very good gloves, just according to your ideas, or they even made like some similar ones, and then you can basically be like the middleman connecting the manufacturer with those guys. So, and then you have the definition of one of several possible markets, which basically like ties together what I just explained. You have the client, you have the product, you have the problem, solution, and I'm pretty sure a payment channel will be found, and then you kind of the marketing channel, how to contact them. You already know the people, so you can contact them already and talk with them in person. Also, connected to effectualism is something that is very interesting, which can help you in your journey, is that they have principles that they tied to this concept, which they found in those entrepreneurs. So the first principle is the bird in the hand principle, which goes back to like you starting with what you have. Do the best with what you have, play the cards that you are given right, and don't wait for next week to get better cards, or next year, I have to like save some more money, or like next year maybe I do like a course and I have more time. The market is not right now. No, you look into who am I, what kind of experience do I have, what do I know, what kind of people do I know, which is super important. That's why you should always think about networking and talk with more people, just see like what kind of interesting people are running around, and then look at how you can connect all those building blocks. And it's like, okay, maybe this could be a nice combination, or maybe this. Then it says here, imagining possibilities that originate from their means. So you have a good overview of all the blocks that you have actually power over. So, and when you find a combination, then it's very easy to go from there and build something and start. And you don't have to wait for the market to become better, for your bank account reaching a certain number, or from, oh, I have to finish the data science course. No, you have to, you can, if you find a combination that works right now, then you don't have to wait for anything. And the next principle is the affordable loss, which is like focused on downside risk. Which like sometimes I see like, oh, you have to be risky, you have to burn the bridges, you have to set the boats on fire, you're back to the wall, and if you have a plan B, then plan A doesn't work. Well, if you have an overview over the blocks that you have available and you connect them to something, then it's not about being a good problem solver and basically doing like survival or die and build a business, but you focus actually on something that you have, and then you can actually do something. Then you don't need to build such a huge risk portfolio and do like a all or nothing Hail Mary maneuver. So an affordable loss is basically, okay, you look at, when you have like all the blocks, you look at limit risk by understanding what they can afford to lose at each step instead of seeking large all or nothing opportunities. Choose goals and actions where there's downside, upside, even if the downside ends up happening. So, for example, you see like, okay, I'm gonna talk to 10 people. It's like very low downside. You waste your time. You maybe could ruin your reputation with them, but you will learn a lot. Or you invest some money into marketing if that's like the only block that stands in your way. Or you're in a course, or you're in a skill, or you print some flyers, you buy some product, you buy like a machine and you produce some things, but you see like, okay, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to invest this in this one step, but I know that this money will be a good investment because even if everything fails, I had my fun. That's already a good reason. I learned something, or I built my portfolio, and now that a step is not worthy, and then you basically, okay, that you have this tolerance that you know, okay, this actually a step I didn't do. I put the blocks together, I know the risks, I know even if everything goes down, I have an upside, so you can go for it. Well, let's go to the third principle. The third principle is leverage. No, it's lemonade. But it also has something to do with leverage. It's leverage contingencies. So you invite the surprise factor instead of making a what if scenario to deal with worst case scenario. And so experts interpret bad news and surprises as potential clues to create new markets. So it's basically, if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So you look all the time, okay, something went wrong. How can I learn from it and use this as a new building block that I now, because now you know something new that you have in your experience, in your knowledge, and you can have new combinations. So always invite like this what if scenario. No, don't invite the what if scenario. You invite the surprise factor. So you openly deal with risk and you openly go out to learn. how things actually work, instead of making up what if scenarios. Oh, I'm gonna now spend $50 on marketing, and then I'm gonna get clients for €1,000. Oh, when this happens, then I spend the €100, and then spend that the €1,000, and then have like 20 times the budget, and then I'm already at $20,000. It's what if scenario. You go in and, oh, surprise, so we go and we're gonna just throw €50 in and see what happens. At the end, probably nothing happens. You get 0 clients, but the benefit is you know, okay, I know how to write an ad, I know how to set some factors on Facebook marketing, I know how to do the graphics, I know how to send it, I know how it looks like when people comment, I know where the statistics come in. So you have already now the experience of the A to B. That means like you have already a more realistic approach to, for example, ads, and you are less connected to the what if scenario. Then we come, I think, to the fourth principle, which is a patchwork guild. How does it called? Quilt? Killed? Yeah, sounds good. So you form partnerships and you build partnerships with self-selecting stakeholders. Ooh, that sounds good. So you obtain pre-commitments from these key partners early on in the venture, and experts reduce uncertainty and co-create the new market with his interested participants. So what does it mean? I had like another presentation or another information where this effectuation, this guild, also describes that you have like, which describes the building blocks in the beginning, that what you know, what your background is, what your experience is, what you own, and then also like who you know. And I'm gonna check in the other one, causation, crazy killed. Yeah, it's here actually is like form partnerships. So you look at who you know. So if you know someone that can do marketing, that you have at hand, you talk with them and, hey, I want to start this. If this happens, I get like this ducks in a row. Can you help me with this? And then you go to something, oh, can get to graphic design, and then you get someone else maybe that can talk to people, so he can, if he gets some numbers, he can talk to them and ask them if they want to be a client for you. You get them together, he does this, they does this, and then you are like your knights of the round table, and everyone has like a important task to do, and they are completely tailored to the people that you actually have in your team. Yeah, and that's your crazy kid principle. You have like this blanket which is put together from different patches, and all together is enough to keep you warm, and it'll work. And then we come to the last principle, which is the pilot and the plane principle. So you have the control versus the prediction, and you focus actually on activities within your control. And the expert entrepreneurs, they know the actions will result in desired outcomes. So you focus on the actions and not on the outcomes. The future is neither found nor predicted, but is made. So you have to trust that everything will work somehow if you do the right action, which is a little bit hard to imagine. But like, okay, you know, like when you go to the gym, you lift weights, you grow. But when you go to the gym, you don't lift weights and then always measure after each workout what happened, but you measure like after the month or so, or after 2 months. You have the patience that actually the work that you put in will have the result, and you actually focus more on the input than the output. Yeah, it's like hard to explain. It's some kind of non-doing, so you don't act with a purpose of achieving the goal, but you act with the purpose of doing the right action and doing the action right. And then you just have like this pearl of actions, and after you have like a nice chain of actions, you will then come to the result eventually. But you don't like have the action and look at the outcome, have the action, look at the outcome. When the plane is on the controls, he knows the direction, and he just knows, okay, I'm just going to correct all the time, boop, boop, boop. Then go in the right direction, and as long as he like controls and does his action and goes in the right direction, he knows he will not only go in the right direction, but he will also get to the airport and land eventually. That's the fifth principle. And then we come to the effectuation cycle. So what does this mean, the effectuation cycle? First, you look at your means. What do you have? What do you know? Who do you know? What are your interests? I think the interest is also very important, because at the end you want to do something for a long time, and I think if someone excited about something, he will do a better job at it than someone that's bored. And if someone comes to you and says, oh, if you get very good at something, you will get excited about it. And then I said, okay, you do like accounting or something, and then we see like how long it takes until you get excited about accounting. But someone is like interested about music, and he goes completely in on this and becomes very good at music, then it doesn't matter how much money he makes. He will find a way to make enough money to sustain himself if he's good at it. And it's more of a chance that he makes enough money making music and having fun at it, than that he is making money at accounting and eventually finding out that it's actually fun. Oh, I don't really think so. So might be nuances to that, but yeah, you have to find out yourself. So this is the means that are important for you. And if you think, oh, I'm gonna try with accounting, be my guest. Why not? Someone also needs accountants, and maybe you find a way to make it fun. So from your means, you can then set out the goals that you want to follow. Do you want to start a business? Do you do you want to connect to this person? Do you want to get a product? What kind of opportunities do you see like in your bird in the hand scenario? So this is the goal that you want to follow, like where you put the stones together and then, okay, I can see something there in the future. And from this prediction, you go over to the others phase, which is the interaction, the first one. So you talk to the people, you say, hey, I have this product, I have this service, do you want to buy it? If I would offer you a solution to this problem, would you be interested in working with me? And then they say, okay, that sounds interesting. Then you go back to your others, because from the people that you know, oh yeah, I have someone that is programming, someone that is doing graphic design or so. You already put your blocks into place, and when they say, yeah, that's nice, yeah, 500 euros, solve that problem, you go to your programmer, hey, here's $100, fix that problem. And you have a business. And yeah, then from there you can add more experience, more connections, and anything else to your means, and then from there go maybe to bigger goals. You learn something, so you can now also put more experience into your say that you have experience in your portfolio. Let's see, we have another summary. So you start with your means, and The means is your bird in the hand principle. Then from the means you can then look, okay, which goal is within my means, which goal can I reach, and there the affordable loss principle comes into reach. And both bird in the hand and the goals are affected by the leverage surprise, so the lemon principle. It's like, okay, I might I don't know, I might be in a shitty situation right now, so my means are down. I'm in a bad market. I don't know. Me no hablo inglés. Or ich spreche kein Englisch. Or what else can bad? Like, I don't know, maybe you broke your leg or something else happens and you have still a job and you have only 2 hours a week time. Okay. You add all this to your means and then you say, okay, may only have one leg, or I might only have like 2 hours a week time, but it's not impossible that there is a solution, and if I find one, hey, that's awesome. So you try to make lemonade out of lemons, and this affects your means and your goals. So from your goals, you can then go to the interaction, and you talk with the people that you would interact with. And then when you have this, you have the connection, your means, your goal, the people, and connect them, and then you can start a commitment. And after the commitment, you can go to your goals, and you will also find new means. So you have new experience, new resources, you make money. Oh, isn't it a nice side effect of a business? You make money. And of course, you can go to new commitments and make like bigger goals. You have more experience, you know what the people need. Maybe you can adjust your goal, or you can go like to another big one. Yeah, and then you start new products, markets, and firms. This is how you do entrepreneurship, according to Rosalind L. Pagan. So, I hope you like this. I like this very much because it gives you a lot of power. You have power over your current situation. You look like, I don't know, you probably heard like the power of now. If you are aware of what kind of cards you hold, I think this is a very liberating and freeing perspective, because then you know, okay, you don't make yourself some illusions about what could be in the future, because there's so much that we basically were wishing for ourselves that could change. Or maybe if I'm smarter, maybe if I'm better looking, maybe if I had more people following me on Instagram or something. There's always something. Probably you will know people that are super successful and they are still complaining. Yeah, small stories, just like when I was with my friends, they were working like more labor work, and they were like complaining, oh yeah, my apartment and my girlfriend and my golf car, right? My little car, complaining about this and talking about this. And then I had an internship at an engineering company, and the engineers, they're older and had like bigger jobs, but there was my house, my family, my Mercedes, same problems, but maybe on another level, but nothing different. So everyone has their problems. So for nobody, everyone has basically enough reasons to wait for the perfect moment. Let's just break it down for this. And what you want to do is, okay, what can I do now? What can I do in this situation realistically? And this gives you power over the current situation, and this also gives you confidence. Think about this. If you can gain power over the current situations, what do you have to worry about in the future? Because in any future you will still have what you have now, most likely, or you would at least have the ability that you can realistically look at your current situation and find like the best step forward for you. And if you can do this now already, you know you have to already be in a better situation tomorrow. So it's also like a little bit stoic in there, right? And suffering arises from expectation. If you expect tomorrow to be better, then chances are that you will be disappointed, because there's always something that you expect to be better and that will change. But yeah, it will not always. Sometimes things go down, sometimes it rains, and then your expectations will leave you devastated. But if you look at what you have now and make the best of it today, you will have a better future tomorrow. If you can create a better future, you don't know it, because you can make it yourself. Yes, so that's for effectuation, and thank you for looking, and yeah, let's go to the next topic.